All right, the Detroit Lions but they got the guy that everybody wants. But here's the cool thing about this video. Not only did they get the guy that everybody wants, they got the 5 guys that everybody wants. They got the core that everybody wants. And we are in full-on off-season mode, and that means you need to be checking out fun areas to look at stuff. The Athletic, PFF, they have really cool off-season stuff. And I don't know about you, but I love to nerd out in the off-season. I love to dive into statistics, into ratings, and just find out what makes a player or what makes a team really good. What makes them click? What makes them better than everybody else? Because I don't know about you, it's always been a weakness of mine, whether it's in fantasy football, whether it's in football, is to be able to see all the pieces together and figure out, like, is this a team that's good at competing? Like, in the past, we've all experienced this as Detroit Lions fans, right? Where we thought a team was going to be successful, and then they weren't. And then there's other times where you're like, nah, that team's not going to be any good this year, and they're phenomenal. Minnesota Vikings, anyone? Last year. So, like, those are the kind of things that sometimes you don't get. But there's times when it becomes extremely obvious that your team is just simply more talented than everybody else. And the Detroit Lions are sitting in that. So the PFF came out with their top 25 players under 25 entering the 2025 NFL season. So who do you think the 5 players are? Leave it in the comments right now. Hit the pause button if you want on this video. Leave it in the comments below who you think the top 5 under 25 are on our roster. And let's see if you get all 5 correct. I think that'd be a lot of fun. All right, so the main man, the big dog. There he is on the top of the article, Penei Sewell. Look at this guy. This is his 2nd year in a row. He's the best player in the league under the age of 25, and he's one of 5 Detroit Lions to make the list. So let's take a look at Penei Sewell, and let's take a little bit of a look at this list. All right, his 3-year grade is a 92.8. He has played over 3,700 snaps in that 3-year span. Now, what I think is so interesting about this is when you look at WAR, wins above replacement, it's a .54. You're going to notice something really big when it comes to the quarterbacks. But I think we all know that Penei Sewell is the best, in my opinion, tackle in the NFL. And that means that he's being paid like it, and he should be paid like it. He was good from the moment he got into the league. He has been absolutely elite the last 2 years. And not only that, the best ability is availability, but even better than that is phenomenal availability. So you look at a guy like Penei Sewell, everybody wishes they had him. We took him number 7 overall that year, but he has been the number 1 player in top 25 under 25 for the last 2 years. Now, there's going to be more Lions, but first, let's see what we got. We got Puka Nacua here with the LA Rams. Okay, that's fair. St. Brown isn't under 25, right? So there it is. Kyle Hamilton. Then you get Jaden Daniels. And here's what I thought was interesting. His wins above replacement are 3.11. That, ladies and gentlemen, is why quarterback is king. All right? Because they simply have more wins above replacement. You can have an elite safety, but his wins above replacement are just 0.39, right? He doesn't move the needle all that much. You got Trent McDuffie with the Chiefs, Jared Verse with the LA Rams after a phenomenal rookie season, Will Anderson Jr., and then we have Detroit Lion number 2. And this is interesting because wins above replacement, like, it's another good one. It's 0.41. And talks about how Branch is one of the several promising Lions players to make this list, getting off to a great start in his NFL career through 2 seasons. He ranks behind only Kyle Hamilton among qualifying players on this list at the position in both PFF overall grade and career PFF coverage grade. Yes, his versatility has been an asset. He has been unbelievably versatile for this Detroit Lions team. He has been able to play all across the field. He's been a nickel. He's been a free safety. He's been a strong safety. He's almost been a pseudo linebacker. He has been able to do everything, and it is that versatility that makes him so good. All right, let's go back to the list because we have 5. Did you get the first 2 right? Penei Sewell, Brian Branch. All right, let's see who number 3 is. We got Bijan Robinson of the Falcons, and what drives me nuts is that Jahmyr Gibbs is consistently put right behind Bijan Robinson in every rating system. If you want to look at fantasy football, he's right behind Bijan Robinson. If you talk about what they are as a running back, he's behind Bijan Robinson. What he has continued to do is put up better yards or better numbers, have more production, been more efficient than has Bijan Robinson, but yet Bijan Robinson is consistently rated ahead of Jahmyr Gibbs. I don't get it. If you're, listen, Detroit Lions fans, who would you rather have on your team? Would you rather have Bijan Robinson or Jahmyr Gibbs? For me, not even a question. It's not even close. It's Jahmyr Gibbs all the way. He is an absolute difference maker. There are a lot of phenomenal running backs in the NFL. There are not a ton of pure difference makers at the running back position, and that's why he comes in at number 10. Here's the other thing that I like about this list. It shows that the value of the running back is still there. There are still 2 players in the top 25, under 25, in the top 10 that are playing at the running back position. The Detroit Lions were at the cutting edge of this a few years ago. They realized how important utilizing a good running back or 2 good running backs, Sonic and Knuckles, I see you, could be. And it just shows there what it is again. All right, let's keep looking. Drake London at 11. C.J. Stroud of the Houston Texans would have been higher, would have been up there with Jaden Daniels, but he had a sophomore slump. All right, that's all right. Derek Stingley Jr. at 13. Brock Bowers, our first tight end, coming in at 14. Neighbors, 15. Witherspoon, 16. Carter, 17. Christian Benford of the Bills at 18. Ladd McConkey. Oh, this was interesting to me, by the way, too. Not even Detroit Lions related. But Brian Thomas Jr. behind Ladd McConkey. How interesting is that? Brian Thomas Jr., your prototypical outside wide receiver. He led all rookies in receiving yards, was fantastic. But Ladd McConkey came in ahead of him as your do-it-all receiver, typically out of the slot. Thought that was very, very interesting. All right, Devon Achane, another running back. Tyler Smith, guard of the Cowboys. And then we have our next Detroit Lion. All right. LaPorta, it said, much like Achane, he engineered a historic rookie season in 2023, setting a rookie tight end record at the time. That was later broken by Brock Bowers. We understand that. For receptions and receiving yards. He faced high expectations year 2. Look, he started the year injured. We understand that. He was still the top 10 tight end in the NFL, all things considered. But this is a guy that will, I think, get back into the mix. There's just a lot of weapons here. There's a lot of weapons on this team. So when you look at it, you have to realize, like, okay, what are we going to do with it? But Sam LaPorta is there. So the question is, who is the final guy? Who is the final top 25, under 25? All right? And he comes in at spot number 25, and it is Kerby Joseph. It is Kerby Joseph. It said he would have been higher on this list had his All-Pro 2024 campaign, which earned him a large new contract, extended to his previous seasons. He was a top-graded safety overall in coverage this past season, but he ranked 50th or lower in PFF coverage grade each year before 2024. In 2023, he had a hip injury. I just want to be clear on that. And the year before that, I believe he had 6 or 7 interceptions. So, look, I understand the grade system, but we have, with the Detroit Lions, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4, but 5 top 25 players under 25. No other team is even close to that. All right? Maybe the Eagles have a couple, 2 or 3. Like, that is it. The Rams have a couple. All right? And the Eagles, by the way, don't have anybody in the top 10. The Houston Texans have 3. That's impressive, right? That's impressive. The Eagles don't have their first one till 17. All right? Like, nobody else is even close to us on this. The Eagles only have 2. Texans have 3. Look, everybody talking about the Detroit Lions, and they're not getting the love right now by the national media, by AI, by the odds makers in Las Vegas. 10 games? like 10 games is the over-under? What are we talking about right now? I understand it's a tough schedule. This is the best team in the NFL. This is the best roster in the NFL. Great. I'll give best team in the NFL to the Eagles. They were the Super Bowl champs, and until somebody knocks them off the mountaintop, they are the best team. I said the exact same thing about the Chiefs the year before. But this roster is the most complete roster in the NFL, and it does it at a young age. Man, it's fun to be here. We got the guys everybody else wants, period. All right, hope you enjoy the channel. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one.